Welcome to a new video of mine. In this video I would like to talk about judging. You know, that thing that we do all day long, consciously and unconsciously. We don't think about it, we just judge. Ah, nice painting. Oh, I hate those colors. Oh, it's great weather. Oh, it's bad weather. Ah, what a wonderful person. Oh, what a nasty person. All the time. Wherever we go, we're judging. Beautiful beach. Ah, it's so hot here. Why are we doing that? What are the results of this? What are the consequences of this? And more importantly, what's the solution to all the problems that we have created by judging? These are the different steps of this video. It's one of the first times I make a scripted video and I would like to test it out. So let's dive in. Judging. Where does it start? It starts when we are raised. When you are raised, we're told, this is good, that is bad. Do this, don't do that. And it's in a way, generally, that is not constructive, but more in a judging way. So you can say, it would be better for you if you would do this in that way. That would be a way that we can actually do it, and good leaders do this. Good managers do this. But generally with kids, oh no, that's bad. Don't put that in your mouth. It's bad for you. Or that, yay, very good, very good, very good. And oh, look at my kid. My kid is doing this so well. Much faster than all the other kids. So already there we are raised with the judging. And we go to school. And then it's, oh, but that kid is so much better than that kid at math. Ah, you will have a great future because you're good at math, or you're good at the language, or you're good at something else. It's judging. Saying what people are generally not good at, but generally actually people are focusing on the bad things. That's also a thing. So generally saying, oh, you're bad at this, you're bad at that, you will be a loser, you will not succeed in life. It's all judging and putting a lot of weight on it. When you imagine, when you're a little child and somebody's saying, oh, your life will be a total disaster. My mom used to say to me, if I would not do better at school, I would end up digging holes. The expression in Dutch is putjeschepper. And that was basically the lowest thing you could do back in the days, was digging the holes to find the water. That was the simplest job. You didn't need to learn anything, you just needed to know how to hold a shovel and dig, or dig graves. Very simple, basic stuff. And that was actually not a nice thing to hear. And as a kid, you would actually visualize yourself all day long digging holes. And that's exhausting. That's not fun. And we're like, oh, I really don't want to end up like, oh, I really need to get better at this thing. So you would start to act out of fear. Religion is another source. In religion, most religions are judging in the negative way. Bad person, bad behavior, you will go to hell, sinner, it's a bad group of people. It's all about what's wrong. And there's almost never constructive, complementative teachings. Except for a few religions who are different. Then you have politics, which is linked to religion, because religion and politics often go very close hand in hand. I mean, religion is often created by the politicians. I mean, they're the masterminds, and then They put people to be the priests or the whatever. And that's how Christianity was created by the Roman Empire. They allowed it, they created it. People wanted to follow in the footsteps of Jesus. Well, let's create Christianity, and those who were priests in the temples became priests, and they became the priests in the churches because they had to change the name. It's all new, it's exactly what the people want, but actually it was directed from Rome. And that's why the Pope is also in Rome. So politicians also judge, like, oh, the foreigners, the neighboring country, the gypsies, the expats, the this, the that. They're bad, 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 bad. How do you think Hitler came to power? How do you think Stalin came to power? How do you think Trump came to power? They're all by judging another group, telling that they are bad. And then you have the media. And the media has been, for very long, the tool of the people in power. A lot of people say, no, the media in our country is independent. Well, check. How are they making their money? If it's government funding, they cannot keep attacking the government, because at some point the government say, hey, you're only biting me, why should I feed you? You don't bite the hand that feeds you. If it's for advertisement, hey, we cannot make this article about Coca-Cola actually creating a huge natural disaster in India, because they're our biggest sponsor at this moment. They would pull out, we would not have funds. Okay, we will not make that thing. You see the reasoning? So, neutral? No. Nobody's neutral. Everyone has an opinion. And when I say media, I also say the glossies, I say the magazines, I say the gossip. Mainly pointing out the bad things about people. And then a few times the good things about somebody. But generally, oh, you know that he did that bad thing. Oh, and he made a mistake there. Oh, and she you know how she was walking, or she was wearing the thing and there was a little corner that was wrong. It's the focus. And it's judging. What are the consequences of all this judging? Small and big. Well, you get fear. Fear of being judged. Because when you're judged, you actually do not belong to the herd, to the group. And you want to be part of the community. So if the community starts to judge you, you may start to get out of the group, and then you end up being alone maybe, or being in a small group with all the people who are being judged and who are not getting the benefits of being in the group. So this creates fear and also unhappiness, because we're not happy when we getting judged. And when you're expelled from the group, you get division. You get one group against another group. You see that a lot in religion, you see that in politics. You see it in society. People from one city hating the people from the other city because the football team beat the football team of the other. I mean, come on. That's not a reason to hate. Or another country because they dress funny. Funny is also judgment. For them, it's very normal to dress in a certain way. For the others, it's not. They have another way of dressing. For them, it's very normal. They have their culture, they have their reasons, and often they're very good reasons behind it, why they're dressing in a certain way. But and you get conflicts from this, and conflicts can expand to become wars. World War I, World War II, and all the other wars in the world were about division, conflict, being different, and judging. If there is unity, there is no reason for conflict, so there is no war. So if you look at all kinds of conflict in the world, they're all because of judging. Now we have the World Cup. It's almost at its end. It's all about judging. Who is better than whom? And we're going to support this team because we hate the people from that country, so we're going to support them against them. We're not going to sit and watch a beautiful football match and somebody will win at the end, but at the end we will look back and like, hey, this was a nice World Cup, we enjoyed some beautiful football. No. And I'm part of it as well. I mean, I do it as I judge as well. And then I was very happy to see some countries being expelled, going home very early. Because I believe that these countries are too arrogant. And they're not playing good football, so they go home. So this is not really the judging. It's more like, if you don't play well, you go home. But in some cases, like with the French, I do not like the patriotism and the chauvinism of the French. They believe they are the best in the world. Most countries believe it, but the French are really emphasizing on this. Through having their cultural centers everywhere in the world and everywhere promoting their country and promoting their language, and it's the best, is the best, the best, the best, the best. I'm like, And then if you listen to the French commentators, when a French player is doing something good, it's fantastic, it's the best of the world. And then if they're doing something not so good, it was bad luck, and I don't know, they come with excuses. It's very much the very strong chauvinism. Where in Holland is the total opposite. The Dutch team is a loser, is a total fuck up, is a no-go, until suddenly they reach a very high level in the World Cup, like 4 years ago, and they're suddenly like, oh, actually they're good. But they have been insulting them, almost one full year until one of the last matches, and suddenly like, oh, they're not that bad. So that's the other extreme. And that's why you see that the Dutch team is often supported by other countries, because they don't have that arrogance, like, oh, we gotta do it. Or if you look at Portugal, they have Ronaldo, who's very arrogant. And that people don't like that, because the arrogance is also judging, like, I'm better than the rest. And we see that in companies, we see that in classrooms, we see it even among friends, I'm better than the others. People don't like that, and you get division, and then some people want to be with that person who thinks this way, and I think he's the popular one, so people stick to that person. Then you have the little group of the popular people, and then you have the others. And this is something you recognize from when you were at school, but you even recognize from now at your job or in your family, that you have two camps or sometimes more, and some people are loyal to this one and some people are loyal to that one. There's that conflict. Many families have the Cold War still active within them, because they're not really fighting, but it's like pushing buttons, and so you see this everywhere, and it's so much rooted because we're taught this from young age. And now, of course, you want to know, how can we solve this? Okay, you have been raised this way by your parents, and then you had to go to church, and they also taught you to judge, and then you went to school, and they were judging you, they were judging people around you. Then you went to high school, and then you went to do a job, and you were also seeing the politicians everywhere judging. So yeah, of course, you believe it's the only way. The only way to be. So if you feel like, okay, this is not going anywhere, this is going nowhere, and we really need to stop having wars and conflicts, and we should live in harmony, because most people really have something great to offer. Most countries really have something beautiful to offer. So let's benefit from that. The European Union is more or less something where they try to do this. It's not perfect, it's far from perfect, but at least They brought a lot of countries together, and each country is contributing in their own way, and together they have a team. The United States of America was created the same way. Australia is created the same way. But they're all far from perfect. So what can you do to change this? To create a better world? For you, for your circle, and maybe spreading it out. And if more people like you do this, then you have everywhere these little cells, and then at the end, the whole world can improve. Well, there are a few steps you can take. And they're very simple, but they need practicing. They need a lot of practicing, because almost from the moment of birth, we were taught to judge. So to undo this programming, we need to work. So here we go. Step number 1 is being aware of it. Just remember. Try to tell yourself every day when you wake up, today I'm going to judge less. When you go to sleep, before you go to sleep, just have a look at the day, like, okay, what did I judge? What kind of judging was it? Who did I hurt with this judging? Okay, good. I did that, okay. Let's try to do it differently tomorrow. And you do this not from judging yourself for being a bad person, that again you judged, again you did a bad thing. No. With love and compassion for yourself, you say, okay, I'm going to try again. It's like when you were a little kid and you had to learn to walk for the first time. You're trying to get up and you would drop. You were trying to get up and you would drop. You would make a few steps and then drop again, and then a few steps and then drop again. This would go on for a while, because even when learning to walk, then you would start to run and then kaboom! And some kids still have it at the age of 5 or 6, that when they start running at a certain moment, they don't pay attention where they step, they don't see a little stone, and kaboom! And you probably remember the case where when you dropped, and you dropped on your chin, and your teeth went through your lips, and your lips were like inflated and bloody and painful. It felt like you had lips like this. They were not that big, but it just felt very inflated, and it was very painful. I had that around the age of 6. I had a period where I was not paying attention while running, and then not seeing where I was putting my feet, and I'm... Yes. So, compassion for yourself. First thing. It always starts with yourself. Then, zoom out. Or take a helicopter and hover above your life, your situation, your company, your team, your family. And just try to look down and see the different dynamics. See the bigger picture. It's like being in the forest. You have no clue how to get out of it, or where to find a pond of water, or the trees with the fruits that you need to eat. Because you have so many trees and bushes around you, you have no clue. But you would zoom out, you would see like, if I go to the right and I walk for about a few minutes, there is already the first thing I need. It's so close, but I cannot see it because of all the trees and the bushes. So zoom out and look at the situation, look at yourself, look at others, and look how the interaction is. Then turn around and look from their perspective. And then you may not like what you see about yourself and about other things, and you're like, oh, but from their perspective, Probably you've heard very many times that people who are called terrorists today, they were called freedom fighters earlier on. The Taliban, for example. The Taliban in Afghanistan, they were freedom fighters when the Americans were pushing them and feeding them with weapons to fight against the Russians. And then once the Russians were out, there's a whole political thing that happened there, a very dirty one. And then, at a certain moment, but now they're not freedom fighters. Now they're terrorists, because they don't do what we want. So if you go to Israel and Palestine, for example, and you take any of them, take one person from Israel, one person from Palestine, Israeli military guy and a Palestinian guy, let's say from Hamas. From Israel's perspective, the Hamas guy is a terrorist. From Palestine's perspective, and the military is a patriot. He's a good guy. The Palestinians look like this Hamas guy is a freedom fighter. He's a good guy. He's fighting for our independence. Like the French did during the Second World War and the first one. Like the British did, like the Belgians did, the Dutch did. Many people have been fighting for their independence. And that was okay. That was a good thing, right? Yeah, but it was your country that you were fighting for. And the Palestinian looks at the Israeli military and says, they're terrorists. They just bombard our country. They steal our land. They poison our waters. They do all these things. So they're doing the same thing. They're fighting for their own countries against the other. One side, it's a freedom fighter. The other side, it's a terrorist. It's a defender. It's an aggressor. Just how you look at things. And this is happening in your family. This is happening with your friends, in your company, in your society. People have different opinions because they have different interests for themselves. There's one apple and there's the two of us. I want to eat the apple. So he's an enemy if he tries to take the apple. He's stealing the apple from me. I'm taking the apple for me. And the other guy says, hey, he's stealing the apple from me. No, I'm taking it for me because I need to eat. No, you're stealing it because I need to eat too. Why not dividing the apple? And enjoying together the apple and then go together and look for some more, because 4 eyes can see more than 2 eyes. So if you go together and search together, you will find, you have a high chance to find more. That's why humans started to live in herds, in groups. That's why many animals live in herds, in groups. Because together, you can strengthen each other. Alone, you will not survive. And when you start looking from the different perspectives, you will start to understand the motivations of the other. You will start to understand the needs of the other. And this will bring compassion. So yeah, I understand. The person is fighting because he needs his space. The person is fighting because he needs to eat, to drink, to live. That's why there is the competition. Okay. You can also work towards unity. And from there you get love. And you do it with love. Because why to hate a person or an animal or a country? If you go as deep as you can, you will not find a good reason to hate. Because whatever they're doing, they have a very good reason for it. Even the Nazis had a good reason. They were in poverty, it was shitty in the country, so the Germans, their last hope was this guy who stood up, who said, I can do better. And the same happened in Italy with Mussolini. We're going to resolve this shit. We're going to give you a better life. And for that, we're going to defeat the bad people who caused our misery. What was the French Revolution about? We say, the French Revolution was good. Hey, it was the people standing up against another group of people saying, hey, we're going to fight them and take back what we believe is ours. And they were fighting because, no, but this is ours. So you're not going to get it. From each side, they were right. Because if you're born an aristocrat, and from birth they're telling you, hey, this is your property, then you believe this is your property. If somebody comes from somewhere else, somebody you never saw, and who's dressed different from you, and who talks even different from you, say, hey, I want to get that thing. Hey, sorry, but my parents told me this is my property, so I own this. No, this is our land. But ask mom, ask dad. So this is how you're going to resolve it, by you acting differently. And you can only do it when you start from here, from in here, from your heart. Listen to your heart and listen to your soul. They will guide you. They will guide you on your path to understanding, to compassion, to love, to unity, to unification. We want peace. We want happiness. We want love. We want to laugh. Not only to love, also to laugh, laughter. To enjoy life. And for that, we need to do this. So I hope this video helped you. And I can go more in depth in certain areas, but for that I need your questions. I need to hear from you in the comments which part you would like me to go more in depth and to share with you how to. Because I know most people really want a how to. And yes, I often say the how to you will know once you decide to go a certain path, you will know what to do. In this case, I understand it's difficult. Because I myself, I'm still struggling with it regularly. So what I can do, what I can offer you is share all the how-tos I have, all the knowledge I have and all the new knowledge I'm getting, because today I'm making this video, tomorrow I may get a new insight or even later on today, and I can share this with you if you're open to it, if you want it. So, if you want, no, actually I will just write it in the description, the different steps that I described. And this way you can look back and look at the list and look at your life. Then you will recognize. Looking forward to your feedback, looking forward to your questions, to your comments. And I wish you a wonderful day. Be in peace.